Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the online classes of the Granny Memorial Senior Secondary School. So students, this is part 2 of Modals. In part 1, we have covered the introduction and can and could and may and might. So in this video, we will be starting with will and would. So will and would, these are the next auxiliary verbs. Would is a past form of will. Will and would, they both are used to show futurity. First, will. It shows the event in the future, means the event that is going to happen in the future. For example, he will pass the exam. Here, in would, it is used to show indirect speech. For example, Ram said that he would pass the exam. It shows the indirect speech, means it is used in the indirect speech. Next, they both are used to show request or any offer. Will is less polite and is more casual in nature, whereas would, it is more polite and more formal in nature. For example, will you have some coffee? It is less polite. Here, example is, would you like some coffee? Means it is more formal in nature. So, next use of will and would is, they are both used to show habits. Will shows characteristic habits, whereas would shows past habits. For example, he will talk about nothing but cricket, like it's his characteristic. And here, past habit, for example, at his young age, he would talk about nothing but cricket, means it shows past habit. Next, the both talks about the situations. Will shows the real situation, whereas would shows the imaginary situation. For example, if it rains tomorrow, I will bring my umbrella. It is a real scenario, real situation. Whereas here, if I had wings, I would fly all over the world. Means it is showing an imaginary situation. Means if I would have the wings, I would fly all over the world. Means, and one more thing, will is less certain, means it is more certain, and would, it is less certain, right? So it is about will and would. Now we will see our next auxiliary verb, that is shall and should. So shall and should. First is shall. Shall represents futurity of the events, and should, it is used in the indirect speech that we have already discussed in the previous one. So these two are also used for the same things. Second, shall is used to show command, promise or threat. And here, should is used to give any or show any belief. It can be true or it cannot be true, right? So it's just a belief. Next, shall, it is used to show formal obligation. What is the meaning of obligation? Obligation means responsibility, duty. So it is formally in nature. Whereas, should is used to show moral obligation. Moral obligation, it's our moral responsibility or moral duty. For example, when I say we should respect our elders, so it is our moral duty to do that. Here, in formal obligation, nowadays must is used, right? Should is also correct, but nowadays what we use for formal obligation is must. Next, shall is used to show any offer. For example, shall I get you a glass of water? So it is used to show offer. Here, should, it is used to show probability of the events, means something which is maybe something, the probability of something to happen, right? For example, he should be in the library now, means I am just assuming that there is a probability, there is a 50-50 chance that he should be in the library now. So this is all about shall and should. So now next auxiliary verb that we are going to discuss is must and ought to. Here, ought to, it is sort of a semi-modal verb, right? Means it works as a verb as well and modal as well. So that is why it is also known as semi-modal verb. Now let us discuss must. Must is used to show formal obligation, right? Whereas ought, it is used to show moral obligation. For example, the accused will appear before the court this week, means it is a formal obligation, formal duty. Here it is a moral obligation, means we, for example, we ought to respect our parents, means it is a moral obligation, right? Next use of must is it is used to show necessity. For example, you must improve your handwriting. So it is sort of a necessary thing to do. That is why must is used here. Now, next use of ought to is probability. It is used to show probability of the event. For example, this book ought to be very useful. So here we have used ought to. Keep one more thing in mind, that is here in place of ought to we can also use should. Okay, so it is showing the probability. Next use of must is it shows logical certainty, means something which is logical. For example, we must teach them a lesson. So it is a kind of a logical thing that we are doing. So here we have discussed about must and ought to.